Hey everyone, my name is Matt Boyle. Welcome back to a series of videos I've been making that discuss the ins and outs of teaching at a university in China. In previous videos I've talked about accommodations and bosses, and in today's video I want to explain some aspects of a typical school year. There are two things in particular I want to talk about: holidays and exams. So the school year starts at the beginning of September and lasts until July. And during that time there are 7 official public holidays: the Mid-Autumn Festival, the National Holiday, New Year's, the Spring Festival, Tomb Sweeping Day, Labor Day, and the Dragon Boat Festival. Foreign teachers might be given 1 or 2 days off for Christmas, but that's not for certain. So I would inquire about Christmas in advance, as well as any other holidays or religious observances that are of importance to you, and perhaps they can arrange some time off for you if it's not already in the cards. In addition to the official public holidays, teachers and students of the universities also enjoy long winter and summer breaks. The winter break is about 5 to 6 weeks long, and it includes the most important holiday to the Chinese people, which is the Spring Festival, also known as Chinese New Year. The Spring Festival lasts 15 days, and it takes place towards the end of the winter break. In a way, the end of the Spring Festival signals the end of the winter break, and the university classes start again shortly after that. The summer break is usually about the same length as the winter break. It takes place throughout July and August. As for the exam schedules, at some universities you will be completely left to your own devices in terms of how and when you grade your students. In the past, I've actually used that freedom to create a syllabus and a grading system together with my students' input, making the class more progressive and fun and uniquely suited to what they wanted to learn and study. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, don't despair, but use the freedom wisely and creatively to come up with a class that's very fun and useful for you and your students. If you don't have that level of freedom to develop your own grading system, then you'll probably find yourself at the more traditional end of the spectrum, having to give midterm exams in November, followed by finals in January. Then in the second semester, you would give midterm exams probably in April sometime, followed by finals in June. It's also quite possible that you will have to submit copies of your exams to your bosses in advance of those testing dates so that they can improve the content and format. And this connects back to what I was talking about in the last video on bosses, which is at some universities and programs they will control strictly how and when you grade your students and what shape the exams take. Whereas at other universities and programs they will give you no guidance whatsoever, no game plan whatsoever. You might not even have an assigned textbook. So if you're a foreign teacher at China's universities, you need the flexibility and the intelligence to deal with both situations effectively. Now there are a few other unusual things I've written about in relation to this topic of a typical school year and academic calendar. If you're interested to read more into that, go ahead and check out my blog. I'll put a link in this video. There I talk about how some Chinese holidays are celebrated according to the lunar calendar, which means the exact dates they are celebrated on shift around from year to year, and also that you might have to make up classes on weekends several days before or after holidays. These things can catch you off guard and be a little confusing, especially if you're new to China, but also even for veterans. If you visit that companion blog article, you can also see a picture of the actual academic calendar my boss gave me last year to give yourself a general idea of a fairly normal school year progression in terms of the dates of things, though I certainly don't promise you'll receive a calendar that looks anything like that, or even that you'll receive a calendar at all. Finally, if you have any unanswered questions for me about this topic, feel free to leave them down below. This has kind of swelled into a big topic that's hard to whittle down into just a few minutes, so some specific questions I would love to answer. And if you found my information helpful today, don't forget to subscribe because I plan to make more videos about teaching at Chinese universities in the future. Until that time, thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you back here next time at Jiao You Well.